Hello, my name is Vera Rajesh, and today I'll be telling you guys about PEMDAS, also known as the Order of Operations. So PEMDAS is an acronym. So an acronym means that each letter of the word stands for something. So the acronym for PEMDAS is P for parentheses, E for exponents, M multiplication, D for division, A for addition, S for subtraction, and that's it. So PEMDAS might be a little hard to remember, and for that you can have something that can help you remember it. So that would be a sentence that says, "Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally." So as you can see, the first letter of each of those words stand for the first letter for each of the letters in PEMDAS. So P for please, E for excuse, M for my, D for dear, A for aunt, S for Sally. So that's the basics of exponents. So now we'll dig a little more deeper and I'll move on to the first letter, also known as parentheses. So this is a very, very, very useful tip. It's so useful to use. It's really good that you have to always write the acronym PEMDAS somewhere on your paper when you're doing a quiz or some kind of test. It's not considered cheating, but you're just helping yourself out. So when you write it somewhere over there, you can check the points that you do when you're solving the equation. So the first one, as you can see below PEMDAS, is parentheses, then brackets, then braces. So those three all fall under the first letter of PEMDAS, parentheses. So when you're doing it, the first, you have to do them in the order, parentheses, brackets, and braces, first, second, third. So here I have a problem with all three of them. But normally, you don't have to actually come up with a problem, or you won't actually be in a situation in a problem with all three of them, or maybe two, one. Sometimes there's none at all. So in this problem, you have to do parentheses first, which is 18 divided by 3. And that equals 6. So 18 divided by 3 is 6. And in step 1, you divided it, and it became 6. So in step 2, you have to do 6 times 5. So that's 30. So now you remove the parentheses and the brackets, and now you get braces left. So, in parentheses and brackets, you only had one problem to do. When I say one problem, I mean specifically one thing. 6 times 5, 18 divided by 13. But in here, you have multiple symbols. So that means you have to have multiple steps. So in PEMDAS, you might have known when you go back over here that M in multiplication comes after, E exponents, you should see the example over there, right under the parentheses. That's an exponent, and you should at least be familiar with it you should have at least seen it, not be familiar with it, but you should have at least seen it if you have known about Albert Einstein's theory of relativity. So this is really weird. When I came to 5th grade, I'm going to 6th grade, this summer vacation. So when I went to 5th grade, I never saw that before, unless you're talking about Albert Einstein. But he used letters and numbers, but this is only numbers. So I'm like, how do you figure out what that means? I was full of questions. So in this, you'll be a little clearer. If you're blank-minded like me, as soon as you first see it, it will become a little more clearer. So now you have to see if exponents are in this equation. No. So that's why you see this tip I said I write PEMDAS on the top side or something. So it's really useful now. So because you know what they stand for, so you checked out P. So you have to see if there's any E exponents. So there's no exponents. So now you move on to multiplication, which in step 3 is 7 times 6. So I hope you're up with me. If not, you can go back and rewatch the video and see how I got over there. So just in case you're a little blank. So after you do 7 times 6, which is 42, you have to subtract by 30 and then subtract that by 12. So now you can see that there's only subtraction left. There's subtraction left in the braces when you have to do the braces. So because there's only subtraction left, you have to work from left to right. So 42 minus 30 equals 12. And 12 minus 12 is 0. So 9 plus 0 is 9. So 9 is the final answer. And now you have to move on to the second letter of PEMDAS, which is exponents. So, sorry for that. So 5 to the third power, that's how you say it when you see this exponent, is an example. So when you do 5 to the third power, the whole number, which is not miniaturized or something, that is what you're going to multiply by. And the small number is going to be how many times you're going to multiply it. So in this case, 5 to the third power means 5 times 5 times 5. So you can't just go 5 times 3 is 15 because that's wrong. That's like totally wrong. But what you have to do is you have to multiply 5 times 5, which is 25. 25 times 5 is 125, which is the right answer. When you have like a quiz and you have this question and you put 15 down, that's like so wrong. There's a huge difference. So this is a problem with exponents in it. Unlike before, there's exponents. So if this was the exponent in the problem 4 to the second power was replaced with 5 to the third power, then I would put 125 in its place. But in this case, it's not. But you can't jump onto exponents, remember? You have to do parentheses first, which is 48 divided by 2. That equals 24. So now you have to do 24 minus the exponent. So we have to figure out what the exponent stands for. The exponent stands for one number. So we have to do 4 times 4, which is 8. So now you have to do 24 minus 8. Am I right? No, I'm wrong. You're not supposed to do 24 minus 8. You finished exponents, but you shouldn't move on with it. You shouldn't move on in that side only. You should not do subtraction first. So now, next is multiplication. Do we have any multiplication? Yes. You have to do 2 times 2 now, which is equals 4. So now our full equation, like right now, is 24 minus 8 minus 4, plus 4, sorry. So now we have to, so this is a very, very important rule. So in this rule, you have to listen very, very closely. You cannot forget this. When you have only addition and subtraction left, you have to do it from left to right. Doesn't matter if subtraction's first, doesn't matter if addition is first, but you have to do it from left to right. So in this case, you have to do 24 minus 8, which is 16 plus 4. So if you do it following doing addition first, you're going to end up with 24 minus 12, which is completely wrong, and which is the final answer will be 36, and that's completely wrong. I think it's 36. So it's going to be completely wrong. That's the final period. So when you do it the proper way, it's supposed to be 16 plus 4, and that equals 20. So 20 is the final answer. So now remember this very, very good advice. This really came in helpful to me when I was in quiz and everything. You put PEMDAS somewhere on the page, doesn't matter where. Put it somewhere, I mean it. It's going to help you a lot. So now you move on to the third letter of PEMDAS, which is multiplication. And it's really easy because I learned this in 5th grade, which means that I should have learned multiplication in 3rd and 4th grade. So I should have know it already, like 23 times 9. I should know from the top of my head. It's 207. So important, like addition and subtraction, like I said earlier, multiplication and division left. If you have only multiplication and division, you have to go from left to right. In this case, multiplication and division is the only thing there, but you have to go from left to right, even though it's only even though there's division first and multiplication, you have to how do I word it out? Oh my god. So you have to go from left to right. Basic. You have to just go from left to right. So that's the only new thing to learn when you're going with multiplication and division. Same thing, division, it's basic. You should know it. I learned this in 4th grade. Maybe it got introduced to me in 3rd grade. They're like, oh, in 4th grade you're gonna learn division, yay! And I'm like, what on earth is division? And then I'm in 4th grade and I'm like, oh my god, that's so easy. So now, and you're in 5th grade, you should know from the top of your head, 27 divided by 9 is 3. So important, same thing, go from left to right. When you see multiplication and division, only left. So with that, you go to the second last letter of PEMDAS, which is addition. That should be the easiest thing ever, other than maybe learning our ABCs or something. It should be easy, easy, easy. So you should have learned this around 1st, 2nd grade, and you should know that 18 plus 54 is 72. So it's, now like I said earlier when we had our problem with parentheses, when we were doing PEMDAS the first time, when you see only addition and subtraction, you have to go from left to right. You better remember. Same thing, subtraction you should have learned in 2nd grade, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. I mean, not 4th. What is subtraction in 4th grade? So 2nd and 3rd grade. So, you should know this already. Same thing, addition and subtraction, go left to right if we only have that left. So now that is it. That was the last letter of PEMDAS to know. So these are really important rules to review. So when you're in a situation when you have only multiplication and division left, or only addition and subtraction left, go from left to right. Please, please, please. If you don't, you're going to get it wrong. Okay? So thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. When you subscribe, you're going to see a bell icon. Click that. Click all. Thank you for watching. This is Freya Rajesh. Thank you.